Well, it is Wednesday, February the 19th. I think this is our fourth storm of the winter. I think that's what the TV station said last night. And we had just decided to come out today and ride around. It's still snowing a little bit, it's light. I worked today, gotten off work now, so thought we would come out, ride around, and show you some winter scenes.
It's beautiful out here, that's for sure. But definitely be careful because you can see the roads are covered.
Now earlier today, the roads are really slick. The highway truck just came through probably maybe 15 minutes ago before we left the house. So you'll see some places it's kind of cleaner than others. And speaking of the highway department, them and the light company both, the linemen, they have really been catching it here the last week. We had an ice storm last week come through. People were without power for days. Luckily, ours stayed out maybe, what, 12, 14 hours at the most? Something like that?
Something like that.
Might have been closer to 15 hours.
And it went out for like 2 or 3 hours the day before too.
Right.
But some people were out of it for days. And we were just blessed that we were not.
And luckily we had a wood stove in the basement, so we used that to keep the house warm.
And anyone who watched us on our lives knows we have a wood stove because we're wearing short sleeve shirts and stuff during the lives at Christmas because it was warm in the house from the wood stove.
And I believe in keeping it warm, especially try to save on that electric bill. Well, this road through here is not too terribly bad.
That's what I was thinking. It's not as bad as I was expecting.
Kind of turn the camera to the right just a little bit. Let the folks see that hillside. They can see it. You can see that snow cover. That's just certainly is pretty.
I believe it was forecasted for us to have between, what was it?
They said
2
like
and 5 inches.
2 to 5 inches.
Well, we're in there, but we're closer to that 2 than 5, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're on the lower end of the scale. We're not a high number. But Carla, she's loving it. And speaking of Carla, they went to school one day last week. That was Monday.
They haven't been back since.
Don't sound so sad about it, Carla.
The last few days it was because of the weather. But yesterday, they had a cyber attack in the county. So that's the reason schools were closed yesterday. They're dealing with that issue.
And unfortunately, because schools were closed, they were unable to get any kind of packets or anything to work on. So,
Thankfully.
Well, these days will count against you. Maybe if you'd had some packets, they could have did a
like a virtual day.
Virtual day. Mm-hmm.
Now coming up, I'm going to show you an area. We were talking about the ice storm we had last week. Right up here we had a lot of trees that were taken down because of the ice storm. But it's just pretty seeing the snow on the trees. And these right here, these were not pine trees. These were different types of hardwoods. You can kind of pan around, you can see the trees that were taken down.
You can see the roots, where they came down from the roots too. Passing somebody here. But there are trees down all over the place.
It is. You know, I think this was probably one of the worst ice storms that we've had in a long time. It almost reminded me of the tornado that came through, I think back in 2016, I believe it was, to see that much damage in places with the trees. And you can see some more remnants right here on the ground in the ditch. You'll see tree limbs down, and it's going to take them a while to get all this cleaned up.
Oh, it definitely will.
And I'm trying to ride some different roads today than I did from the last video. That way you can see different parts of the county. Right here you see a resident. He's cleaning out his driveway. Got his tractor with a blade pushing snow.
If I got him on there or not.
The little stand that got knocked over. Oh, that wind we had the other day must have blew it.
We did have the wind.
Yes, we did. This is a little pretty area. You got the little underpass, the railroad track above. Pick away, right or left?
Carly, you
Left.
pick.
Go left. And this right here used to be an old country store. It's the post office of Evergreen. And this road right here earlier this morning was pretty slick. We had an accident right down here on the left. And I come around here and the back end kind of fishtailed a little bit on me.
I'm glad you didn't have an accident.
Oh, we was okay. But you see more limbs from the ice storm that was taken down. See, they got the fence put back up because it knocked down a little bit of the fence.
They must have got on it right away.
Yeah, the landowner was here when it happened, so he lives right up the street.
What is the temperature out there right now, David?
I'm not sure. I don't have a thermostat on my truck. But it's supposed to be under 32 all day, so like the upper 20s where it's supposed to be.
Carly, do you have your phone to see what the temperature is?
I can check mine if I can find it.
No, I'll check it. It's loaded. 24 degrees.
24. Yeah, I know earlier it was like 25, so that's why I was wondering what the temperature was.
It's supposed to be in the 20s all day. I think tonight's supposed to get down to what, like 19 maybe?
I know it's supposed to be in the teens.
And then they talk about wind, so
It's that wind that gets you.
maybe single digits with the wind chill.
Probably. They've touched this road, ain't it? At least that section doesn't look like it.
Yeah, probably not much traffic on this road, probably. Now, I hadn't been on this road since the storm, so I see they had trees down through here as well.
I'm noticing that. Yeah, our county was just hit so hard this last week because, you know, we had the snow, then we had ice, then we had that wind, and then we had some flooding too.
Now, this road's definitely pretty. It's all snow covered
Oh,
right
it's
through here.
beautiful. Now, we had a live scheduled last Thursday, and we lost power, so we had to cancel it, and we just have not scheduled another one, not knowing what this storm this week would do. So be looking for us to schedule another live soon.
Yeah, hopefully maybe we can do it next week.
That's what I'm hoping.
Now, this is definitely some pretty scenery coming through here. Roads are still snow covered.
Got some snow in the tree. Trees. I just couldn't get that out of hard. I was trying to say snow, and I was saying snows. I was trying to say trees. I said trees. I think I finally got it out. David's definitely taking it easy.
Somebody got a little sideways right there.
I see that. It doesn't take but a second to get sideways.
And they said something about maybe getting a little bit more snow tomorrow, early in the morning, first thing. Another round coming through.
That's supposed to be pretty light, I think.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I remember one year they called for like a dusting, and we got about like over a foot or so. You remember that?
Yeah, if we got a foot, I don't know what I would do.
I hit the horn by accident. Sorry about that.
Just saying hello to all you subscribers out there.
Speaking of subscribers, if y'all hadn't done so, this would be a good time to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.
It would be a great time.
I'll be honest, it actually scared me when I heard it because I didn't know what was going on. My arm actually hit it. Pretty old barn sitting on the side of the road.
Oh yeah, I was watching as I was filming how pretty it looked in the snow in the barn and everything.
And here's another little road you see. It doesn't get traveled too much because all snow covered, but it's pretty through here. You definitely don't want to run off the left side over here. You got a little embankment you'll be going down.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that they won't have school tomorrow.
They won't have it tomorrow and possibly won't have it Friday. Carly allowed to be going to school all summer.
No.
Well, we'll have to see what they do for the makeup time. Sometimes they've added minutes to the day. They've added minutes to the day where you would stay longer in the day, and that's how you make up some of your time. I know.
Oh, heck no.
I know we have a week of spring break. I'm hoping that they will keep that. And you also have a half a day coming up next month when the kids get out at 12. They could stay the whole day for that. And then there is Easter Monday, since our spring break is different. It doesn't go along with Easter week, so
They could take that Monday.
they
That'd
could
make
take
up
that.
one
There'll
day.
be another day. So there are several days that they could take. So they could do a combination of that and some extra minutes. I personally never liked extra minutes. I just felt like you were not getting as much time as you would with days, but you do what you have to do because we've had some unusual circumstances with these days off. with the loss of power and then that cyber attack on top of it.
Dude, honestly, just make the kids that like are actually doing that and make them go back.
So you feel like the kids who are not where they need to be, let them go, and then the
Yes.
ones who don't need them, don't make them make it up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a different strategy for sure. I doubt they do that because they get paid by attendance, Carly, of you attending each.
I see our local Walmart has a few vehicles on the lot, so people are still coming out and getting groceries and stuff. They got the parking lot cleared pretty good.
Better than the road coming in. You can see that's still kind of snow covered. I'm surprised it's not clear with all the traffic.
It's probably done got packed down now, a little bit harder to scrape. But last time we did a video, one of our subscribers, he used to be a citizen of Appomattox, and he was asking about the mill pond. We didn't have that in the last video, so I thought we would ride out here and let him see what the mill pond looks like today. I don't know how long it's been since he's been through here. He was talking about they used to ride out through here back in the day, and just want to kind of show him, bring back some memories, hopefully.
That's pretty through there.
It is. So we just crossed the bridge right before we get to the Mill Pond Road. We're getting ready to turn right now to Mill Pond. And now this is a beautiful little section of road. It's just hardly nobody lives through here. It's just a few houses on this road. And I was gonna say not much traffic, but you notice here comes a truck already. But he's coming through with a load of hay. He's feeding cattle.
Oh goodness, he's spinning.
No, he's just taking his time.
Oh, it looked like he was spinning there to me.
I'll let him come on up through here before we go any further. But as we get up through here in sections, you'll see where the little Wreck Island Creek runs through on the side. And it's very pretty through here. That is why he was taking his time. It's like the road's been washed out. You really can't tell it.
Goodness grief.
I know.
All that rain we had the other night and washed that little section out. That's why it was so rough.
No wonder why you.
But it's just a pretty little section to ride through. Like I said, most of the time you don't hardly ever see a vehicle coming through here. But wait till we get up here a little bit further up, Carly. You're really gonna like it. You'll see the creek right beside the road. Then it's got a real sharp curve back to the right, and we'll run right alongside the creek. You can definitely see the creek is muddy down there with all that rain we had. I hadn't been through here since the ice storm either, so.
You can see a lot of trees down.
I'm just curious to see what it looks like up here closer to the old mill pond, the old mill up here.
And you know one thing, David, whenever they say something about a mill, it's usually pretty in that area.
Yeah.
Because usually it is some like old mill, whether it's from back in the day.
But when we get up here close, I may stop and get out and film the mill. That way people can actually see it. Cause
That would be a good idea.
I think it's very pretty. I think people enjoy seeing it. But this just looks beautiful coming through this creek, running alongside the road. And I've always wondered if there's any fish through here to catch.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I guess you're right.
Well, I guess it's more than one way, but the easiest way is throw that off.
I would love to come over
Throw
here
that line in
and
there
try
and
it one
see.
day just to see if we do get any bites on anything.
Ain't no doubt there's fish in there.
There's a little boat
Yeah.
right there. And yes, David knows this county like the back of his hand.
Ain't that the truth?
I should, as long as I've been working it. I've told people before, you could blindfold me, ride me around, and then take your blindfold off. I could tell you where I'm at within a couple miles driving.
Dad, are we going back up this way? Because there was a spot back there that I wanted to take a picture of. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're approaching the mill now. The window down so you can see it properly. I decided to stop and get out the vehicle, and that way you can get a better view of the mill. And it looks beautiful with this snow all over the ground. It's so peaceful just hearing that water running. All right, we just got back in the vehicle from stopping at the mill. And this right here looks mighty rough too. I don't know if it looks like it's been washed dirt right through here, all these ruts right here.
I wouldn't trust it.
People have been through it, you can see that.
Yeah, it's definitely been washed out. That's an old racing tire.
I see that.
A Hoosier.
Where?
But pan it back to the right. I'm gonna let you. That way you can get a good view of the mill from the road. This must have really been up the other day from all the water we had. If you'll hand me the camera, Cindy, I'm gonna show something over here.
Right.
If you look up in that tree, you see some like an old rug or a piece of trash or something. So at one time the water had at least had to be up that high for to get up in there. So it's definitely pretty down through there with all the snow on top of everything. Now let's venture on and show you what else we can see before it gets dark. And up here in just a second is a place. I mean, it's a gorgeous view. You come up here on a pretty sunny day, you look back, you see the mountains. They got a little gazebo up. People will come up there and just sit. And it's called Almost Heaven.
But it's not West Virginia.
It's not West Virginia. And as a matter of fact, it's a few hours from West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
But
Big
right up
home.
here, I'll show you.
Country roads.
You can see the gazebo straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna pull in this little road. That way, when the vehicle goes in, you can see back towards the Blue Ridge Mountains and back towards the ski resort of Wintergreen and all that area.
Anybody live in this house?
Yeah, somebody built that fairly new.
They must be lucky.
But people will come right here and sit. They used to have a sign right here, but I don't see it now.
Someone probably took it.
But hand me the camera. I'm gonna kind of come out the window and show.
Okay.
But if you look at the skyline, there's the house they were talking about. But you can see the mountains in the distance. It's just a gorgeous view.